wet nose hits the screen door, and scratches slide down the wood. Kira, the family's German shepherd, stands on the porch, sides heaving, fur dripping river water onto the welcome mat. Inside, the house still smells like leftover turkey and pumpkin pie. Mary opens the door and freezes. The dog has come home alone. Thanksgiving weekend, 1989. In a town where people left their doors unlocked, the thing everyone feared most began with something ordinary. An 18-year-old college freshman laced up her running shoes, called for her dog, and stepped out into the cold, gray afternoon. Her usual route, down Strand Road toward the Nooksack River, and back. Hours pass. The sun drops behind the dark tree line. Headlights sweep over gravel driveways as neighbors roll by, expecting to see Mandy running along the shoulder like she always did. Instead, they see parked patrol cars. When Mandy doesn't return, her family calls the sheriff. Search teams fan out into the woods, along the roadside ditches, and down toward the riverbank. Volunteers drag flashlights through blackberry thickets, calling her name into the cold air. But the only answer is rushing water. For the people of Acme, Washington, this isn't just another missing person. Everyone knows Mandy. She's the honor student, the athlete, the girl who always seemed to outrun the dark. 3 days later, around 3 miles downstream, a body is found in the Nooksack River. It's Mandy. Investigators determine she has been sexually assaulted and drowned. The current didn't take her life by accident. Someone put her there.
Mandy Stavik left home for a jog down this Whatcom County road the day after Thanksgiving 1989 and never returned. Days later, her body was found a few miles away in the Nooksack River. Whatcom County Sheriff Bill Elfo met regularly with Mandy's mom to let her know her daughter had not been forgotten.
In a town built on routine and trust, everything fractures. Parents stop letting their daughters jog alone. Windows that once stayed open at night are locked and double-checked. And Thanksgiving will never feel the same. This is Shadow Lore. Detectives do everything they can with the tools they have. They interview friends, classmates, ex-boyfriends. They look at hunters, drifters, anyone who might have crossed that lonely stretch of road. They even collect and preserve DNA from Mandy's body, decades before anyone truly understands how powerful that evidence will become. But the technology isn't ready. The profile just waits in a lab, like a ghost in a freezer. Years pass. Mandy's mother keeps her daughter's photo on the wall. Detectives retire, and new ones inherit a box that feels more like a wound than a file. Every Thanksgiving weekend, the same question hangs in the air over Acme. Who took Mandy off that road? Decades later, something small happens, the kind of moment nobody would notice unless they were looking for it in a true crime story. 2 mothers are talking at a local water park. Their kids are playing. Their conversation drifts. Families, hometowns, and finally, the killing that changed everything in Acme. The unsolved murder of Mandy Stavik. One of those women knows a man who used to live along Mandy's running route back in 1989. Another knows people who work with him now, miles away, at a bakery. That connection is enough to light the fuse. Detectives, still carrying the case in the back of their minds, start to focus on one name: Timothy Bass, a delivery driver, a husband, a father, and a man whose life once ran parallel to Mandy's without anyone paying attention. In 2017, investigators need one thing they've never had before: his DNA. They ask Bass to volunteer a sample. He refuses. So they wait and watch. At the bakery, a co-worker notices how closely detectives are circling him. Thinking of her own daughter and of Mandy, she quietly agrees to help. One day, Bass finishes a drink. He throws the plastic cup away. She retrieves it and hands it over. Inside that cup is a partial imprint of his DNA. When the lab runs the comparison against the profile saved from Mandy's body, the result is explosive. The odds that the DNA belongs to anyone other than Timothy Bass are described as virtually impossible. The ghost in the freezer finally has a name. Bass is arrested in December 2017 and charged in connection with Mandy's murder. During the trial, he claims that he and Mandy had a secret, consensual relationship, a claim no one has ever heard before, and one that nothing and no one can verify. The jury hears the evidence, hears the DNA, and hears the silence of 3 long decades. In 2019, 30 years after a dog came home alone on Thanksgiving weekend, a jury finds Timothy Bass guilty of murder. He is sentenced to nearly 27 years in prison.
Nearly 30 years after her death, the man accused of murdering Mandy Stavik is about to stand trial. The Central Washington University student was home on Thanksgiving break back in 1989 when she disappeared.
New DNA technologies connected Timothy Bass to the alleged murder, but the case may be anything but open and shut. King 5's Eric Wilkinson with exclusive new information tonight.
For Mandy's family and the community of Acme, there is finally a name and a verdict. But justice doesn't rewind time. It doesn't bring back the 18-year-old who went out for a run on a gray November afternoon and never came back. Every Thanksgiving, people in that valley still remember the girl who seemed to outrun everything except the darkness, waiting on a quiet country road. Shadow lore, true crime, real horror. Subscribe if you dare.